Hi, welcome to this video. If you are a finance professional few years into your career, or if you're an aspiring finance professional in the last leg of your formal education, then this video is for you. My name is Karambelkar, and in this video I have tried to list down some of the key skills that you should look at developing for success in your finance career, especially earlier on. Okay, now in finance there are a lot of specializations, and what I'm going to list out are those skills which are common across specializations. Alright, so let's get started with the first one. The first one is your ability to analyze the financials of a company. You should be able to analyze the P&L, balance sheet and cash flow statement of a company. And by that what I mean is not the accounting aspects, but you should be able to really say, looking at a past 2 to 3 year trend, how the company is doing. Is it doing good? Is it doing bad? What is it that the company is going through? And why is it so important? Let's have a look at a couple of career roles. Let us say you are into equity research and you give recommendations to investors on companies that they can invest in. Unless you understand how the company is performing by having a look at their financial statements, there is no way that you will be able to give recommendations on how the company will do, what will be the stock price, where will it reach in the next 1 year. It's not possible unless you understand the financial statements and are able to do this analysis very well, very clearly. In another role, let's say you are in a bank and you want to figure out whether the loan which the bank has given to a particular customer, is it safe or is it in danger, and you need to do something about it. The only way you can say this with certainty is by assessing the financial statements of the company, the trend of the company's finances, and by tracking the real-time developments, of course. But when you see the financial statements, you can clearly make out that the company is not doing well. You need to track it more closely, and then based on the developments in the company, you figure out that this company is not doing well. You might have to do something about it. So understanding or analyzing financial statements is pretty critical in this case as well. Let us look at a third example. Let us say you are into M&A advisory. Now, to be able to make the correct recommendations for acquisitions for your client company, you should be clear what is the capability of your client company to acquire companies. What is the size of companies that your client company can digest? Only then you will be able to do a good job. So you should be able to understand the balance sheet, the bandwidth of the company on the balance sheet basis to be able to make acquisitions. That will help you in making the right pitch to your clients. Okay, so you really need this skill everywhere. You just can't do without it. Let us go to the second skill now. The second skill is ability to build financial models in Excel. Now, if the first skill, which is financial analysis of company statements, give you a picture or a story of what the company is going through or has gone through in the past, financial modeling in Excel will help you to project out that story into the future based on certain assumptions about the company's performance. Okay, now let us see where all this is required, or why is this also so important. Let us say you are in M&A or in equity research. To be able to form a view about the company's valuation, you necessarily need to sort of build a projection of that company into the future, make some assumptions and create a discounted cash flow valuation. You just can't do without financial modeling if you are into M&A advisory or into equity research. It's pretty much like bread and butter for you. Even if you are working with a bank and let's say you're working in a credit team, when you are deciding or making a choice of whether to give a loan to a particular customer or not, you will end up building financial models for the customer and be sure yourself that the customer has the capability to pay back that loan to you, and that will come only by building projections for the company into the future through financial models. Even if you are in a corporate, financial modeling is going to be pretty much required everywhere. in management meetings especially, you end up being asked a lot of what if kind of questions. What if this company goes through this phase? What if this happens to this company? What will happen to this company if A, B, C, D, E assumptions were to come out as true? And the only way you can answer such questions with certainty is if you have a financial model in place, a linked financial model in place. You can just adjust a few assumptions in the P&L, in the balance sheet, and then see how the projections shape up. What is the situation the company is in? So you can answer such questions live, on the go, in these management meetings, and help management to take decisions. And this will go a long way in helping you in your career. Now, the third skill set, which is not as important as the first two, especially in the initial years of your career, is something that you can refer to as business acumen or commercial acumen. Now, what I mean by that is that irrespective of whatever your teams or your company is engaged in, or if you are doing an analysis of some other company, then whatever that company is engaged in, you will have to always keep on the back of your mind that all of these operations should finally result in cash profits for the company. Okay, so you should be able to clearly distinguish whether a company is merely doing a very high volume operation, huge amount of production, and booking some profits in the P&L statement, or it is really making some cash profits and it is really creating value for its owners. The ability to distinguish between these two is critical, because at the end of the day, how much ever business you do, what is really important, and as a finance professional you should keep this in mind, is that what is really important is that you should make money, you should make cash profits out of that business. That is what is more important. And therefore, the ability to drive efforts towards creating value, towards creating cash profits, is something which should always be at the back of your mind. Now, that is a skill which will not be very, very important in the initial years, but as you grow from the initial or the junior roles into mid-level roles, this is something which will help you a lot. So if you focus on this from the very beginning, it will help you a lot in the later years. Okay, so those are the skills that are important for you if you want to pursue a career in finance. My suggestion is that you invest time and energy early on into building these skills. Okay, you may or may not have received these skills or learned these skills in your formal education. Finally, what is important is the practical skill set. So if required, feel free to go through practical training courses, but get the skill early on. It's going to be pretty important and it will make a meaningful difference in your career. Okay, I hope this video gives you some pointers on what are the ones that you would want to develop further. Good luck to you and my best wishes for a glittering career in finance. Bye bye.